Hey guys, it's Miss Clark. I'm here doing your Thursday reading lesson. Our I can statement is I can compare and contrast the point of view from three stories. All right, we're going to review some vocabulary words. We have review, compare, contrast, and version and point of view. So compare means to find how something's the same. Contrast means how to find things that are different. Version is like a certain type of story. It's usually like the same story, but it's put in like a different way of writing. And then point of view is first person, like I, me, and my. Third person is she, he, they. Okay, so we're going to review how each fairy tale has a different perspective than the original stories we would have heard in the past. So, for example, on Monday, we've listened to The Three Bears, and we've listened to the original version, and we've also talked about the new version with Baby Bear. Okay. On Tuesday, we talked about Little Red Riding Hood, how it was told from the wolf's point of view versus Red Riding Hood's point of view. Okay. And then on Wednesday, we read about Cinderella, and it was told from the stepmother's point of view versus the original story, which was told from Cinderella's point of view or from the narrator. So today, we're going to read another story and determine the point of view of this story. Now, we're going to look at our comparison chart and decide what to put on them. But first, let's read our story for today, which is called Believe Me, I Never Felt a Pea, and it's the story of the princess and the pea. Let me adjust some stuff. All right. Believe me, I never felt a pea. All right, and it's as told by the princess. Now, before, the original story was told from the point of view of the prince, I believe. Okay. So, can you keep a secret? I mean, a real lips sealed and throw away the key secret. You can? Okay, good. Here goes. I'm not a real princess. Shh. Yes, I slept on a stack of 20 mattresses. Yes, it was the worst night's sleep I'd ever had. And yes, I did marry Prince Matthew. But there's a lot more to the story than that. The first thing you should know is that Prince Matthew, or Matt, wasn't all that interested in getting married. His dream to be a successful businessman. He came up with one crazy idea after another. Grape plate, berry medley, plum, whip, prune surprise, purple cabbage casserole, creating self-cleaning horse-drawn carriages. But the queen didn't want her son to go into business. She thought if he were married to a spoiled, pampered girl, a real princess, in other words, he wouldn't have time for his silly dreams. She traveled all over testing princesses to make sure they were the real thing, but none met with his approval. One princess politely ate tough steak rather than demanding a tender piece. Fail! Another princess carried her own luggage. Fail! Several princesses wore the same gown 2 days in a row. Fail! All failing. This is where I come in. And my dog. His name is Prince. Super Pooch, or Princess for short. Isn't that cute? One night, Princess and I went for a walk in the woods. Suddenly, crack, boom, flash! A storm came up. We needed shelter, and I knew the castle was nearby. I picked up Princess and made a run for it. A maid opened the door. Hi, I gasped. I'm Starla, and this is Princess. Can we please spend the night? Another princess, the maid muttered in an unfriendly way. Follow me. No, I'm not a princess. Princess is the name of my dog, I tried to explain, but she didn't pay any attention. Maybe she couldn't hear me because of the thunder. The maid showed me to a bedroom, and my jaw dropped. There stood a towering stack of mattresses. Excuse me, I said, but I don't need anything so fancy. Really, just throw a sleeping bag on the floor and I'm good. The maid sniffed rudely and left. I carefully counted the mattresses, 20 in all. Princess pawed at the bottom mattress like he does when there's a crumb under the stove he can't reach. Stop that, I said. We're guests here. Be good. The bed was super soft and very comfortable. The sheets were as smooth as silk and smelled like a flower garden. I soon fell asleep, but not for long. I must have rolled over a little too far because the next thing I knew, thwack, I hit the floor. Hard. Beds like that should come with guardrails, maybe even parachutes. I climbed back up the ladder and spent the rest of the night staring at the ceiling. I was too scared to move. The next morning, I was tired and cranky. Hardly slept a wink, I said. See these bruises? I can't wait to go home and sleep in a real bed. The maid stared at me for a moment. Then her face lit up. Your Majesty, Your Majesty, she shouted as she ran down the hallway. This girl is a real princess. She complained about the pee. So that's what Princess was trying to get at beneath all those mattresses. A pee! That ridiculous bed was a test. Again, Princess is the name of my dog, I called after her. I didn't say anything about a pea. Like the vegetable. But you know how fairy tale weddings go. There's no stopping them. Beautiful gowns appear, the castle glitters and gleams, music fills the air, crowds gather, and suddenly there I was, married to a prince. Luckily, Matt and I love each other, and married life hasn't caused him to give up his dreams. In fact, we're business partners. We've been very successful selling mattresses. It says, say yes to the best, a princess mattress. Have a royal night's rest on a princess mattress. And it's a sale. Good. So it says, look online to find the story of The Princess and the Pea, the original version by Hans Christian Andersen. Explain how the original story and the version you just read are alike. Explain how they are different. So, how do the maid's actions affect the plot of the story? And then describe Prince Matthew, What information about him comes from Starla? What information comes from the illustrations? All right, so that's the end of that. Now, I want you to get out your packet. Okay, so I want you to get out your packet from this week. And I want you to turn to Thursday's page. And it looks like this. It says, believe me, I never felt a pee. And it has the exact same questions we've been doing every day, which says, what point of view did the author take? Explain with text evidence. Could there be different points of view? What would they be? Why are these points of view important to better understand the reading and information? And then how could some people interpret this differently? Explain. All right, so go ahead and answer all these questions. And yep, that's it for today. Let's look back at our slideshow, see if we're missing anything. All right, so you're going to complete the chart. And then how do all these points of view compare to one another? How do they contrast? And then think of another fairy tale. How would another fairy tale change if it was told from another point of view? Okay, so I want you to think about the original Princess and the Pea and think about how it's different from the one that we just read. So I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!